Let's say hello, good afternoon to the superstar that is Big Sam Allardyce. Hello, Sam.
How are you doing? All right.
We're good.
Paddy, how are you?
Hey up, Gaffer.
Are you well?
I'm good, pal. Yeah, I'm good. I was just saying before we came on, I was supposed to be doing your podcast, and then you sent me a message saying, I can't scrap the podcast tomorrow. I'm taking over at Leeds.
Well, it'll be starting again this season now, so I'll expect you on.
I'm in.
No tippy-tappy football, mate. Be great.
Sam, let me ask, when you say it will be starting again this season, does that mean football is done and dusted, or there's still a chance we could see you back in the dugout at some stage?
Well, Andy, I can't say yes or no anymore. So, I mean, as many times as my good wife has said, God, that's got to be it now. Something turns up as mad as Leeds for 4 games, and I couldn't turn it down. Like, I mean, such a big club, such a big challenge, I know, but I tried to try and do the best I could. Unfortunately, it wasn't good enough for us all, but great shame for a club like Leeds after they spent so much time trying to get back there. Unfortunately, couldn't make relegation a non-starter, but they know that hopefully they'll get back into the Premier League next season.
Yeah, Sam as well. Obviously, your coaching staff, you've wore off on them because my mate Robbie Keane is out in Israel now managing.
Yeah, he rang me a couple of weeks after we'd parted company and said, "What do you think?" You know, and I said, "Well, he's been so desperate to get back into management.
Yeah,
if you want to have a go, you know, when an opportunity comes, you know, don't turn it down." And Robbie he likes an adventure, doesn't he? He's been all over the world, you know. So I mean, I rang him on the Tuesday morning and said, "I need you. I need to come and join me at Leeds. Not only are a legend, but I know him from Soccer Aid. Know what a great character he is."
Yeah.
And he was there 2:00 in the afternoon. And he travelled from Dublin, so he just packed his bags, told his wife, he said he's off. So yeah, he was a great addition at the time, and we did a brilliant job with the front men, particularly on the coaching. Unfortunately, it wasn't or didn't bring enough goals for us to try and stay up.
Tell you what, and all about Robbie, great singer.
Is he?
You get the karaoke out, he does it, music off, a cappella. And delivers.
Do you think that was the difference between him getting the job and not getting the job?
I think it was. It's next level. When he goes on, you don't want to go up after him.
I was told that he would come on and have a chat, right? So someone we both know said, "Can Andy Goldstein?" And he was like, "Yeah, give him a number." Text him nothing.
You're joking?
No.
Oh,
he'd be too busy, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to get his feet under
Sam,
the table.
I don't want to put you on the spot, pal, because obviously we know what you've done in management, your knowledge and everything else about the game. With this Saudi league at the minute, would you ever be tempted to go over there, take over a team?
Well, I think I'd find it very difficult to say no with everybody seeming to up sticks, pack a bag, and off they go. Paddy, you know what I mean? I think that it won't have nothing to do with the money, mind.
No, of course not. I think Steven Gerrard probably said the same when he was offered £15.2 million a year. I think Big Sam.
Well, you know, if an offer like that come along like that, you'd have to seriously think about it.
Sam, let me ask, what do you make?
The players they're signing, it sounds like they're going to buy a really good league very, very quickly, by the way, and establish themselves. I think that they've decided to buy all sports, Andy, nearly, haven't they?
Yeah,
I mean, football is not the first by any stretch of the imagination, you know, and I think that now they've decided they're going to be a big force in the world of football. I think that's exactly what they're going to be. I think that they're going to go all out and sign the players. And, of course, the people who go out there, whoever it is, whether it's managers, coaches and players, you know, and they have to go and earn that money and have to go and show that they're worth going out to build a league that people are going to recognise. And I think that that's a big commitment for everybody. It's not just a gravy chain. It's to go and do the job that you're paid to do and make that league very, very competitive. And the players that they're signing, the managers that are going there, I think that's going to be the case very, very quickly.
What do you make of? Listen, when they throw crazy money, they're talking now of Jordan Henderson supposedly being on £700,000 a week, right? When an offer like that comes in, he can't turn that down, right? It would not just make his family secure life, which they probably are anyway, but generations of his family to come. So I totally get that. What do you make of if they started bringing players that are still in the pomp of their game? For argument's sake, if they offered Harry Kane £1.5 million a week. Crazy money, but if anyone can afford it, it could be there. What would you make of a player that still had lots to offer for, big European leagues, but decided to turn their back on it and play over in the Saudi League? What would you make of that decision?
I think that some would and some wouldn't. I think that it depends on the individual and the family and what they consider to be more important. And I think that we saw it with China for a while, didn't we? And they gave big money out in China. That seems to have faded pretty quickly. But this is even greater than that. And I think when they started with Ronaldo, I think that everybody stood up and thought, where are they going here? And of course, they've continued that from now. So the temptation for everybody is, do you go there? And if you're going there, what sort of level of football are you playing at? And at the moment, it may not be the best football at the moment, but certainly the way they're going to grow it very, very quickly. So it will become more and more competitive as the season goes on if the players that go now and the managers are successful. So, you can imagine more and more. And of course, the clubs, never mind the players, you talk about the players, but the clubs won't turn the money down. The clubs will say, yes, you can go. I mean, what are they asking for? Jordan Henderson, 20 million, is it? Something like that.
It's $700,000 a week. I can't do the math, but I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's
but
ridiculous
no, but I think
money.
they're asking
The actual fee,
a £20 million
Sorry,
fee.
the fee.
And I mean, normally they would look at Jordan Henderson and say for the service he's given, it wouldn't be nothing like that amount, but they're trying to dip into the Saudis' money and say, well, if we get 20 million, Jordan, you can go. That's what I mean. It's not saying, well, we want you to stay.
Sure.
Yes, you're okay.
Yeah, but I think with anything like that, it will be telling about the players and the managers who go over there for the big money, how long they stay. If they go and do a couple of seasons and come back, it'll make a joke of it. Well, if they're going to go out there and stay there and try and, do something in the game out there, then you go, right, okay, we can take it seriously.
Well, my understanding is, I don't know how true this is, but for you to earn the money tax-free, you have to be in the country for 2 years. So they're all going to stay for 2 years at least, is my guess.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Then I hope there isn't a mass exodus then back after that, because then it just makes a bit of a mockery of it all. Yeah. They've gone essentially for the money, which, you can't begrudge that. You're not turning down $700,000 a week.
Listen, you're still not too badly off. You pay the tax on it, are you? I mean,
yeah, I'm so desperate to go. What's tax? What's pay tax?
The taxmen over here will be rubbing their hands if that's the case. Of course, I mean,
yeah.
If we don't all pay too much taxes in the first place, but it'll get even bigger for them. They'll be rubbing their hands by the way. But I think that from the club's point of view, they're looking to cash in on players that they're willing to release if the Saudis come from, as well as the players cashing in on the huge contracts that they're going to get. But as in tax-free, well, you'll need a very good set of accountancy on what you have to do to become a non-domicile, and use that system to perhaps use that way that you can actually stay for 2 years or longer and not actually pay the tax on it.
Sam, let me ask you, of course, one of the main reasons we got you on, apart from saying hello, and you look well, by the way, people watching YouTube can see you. Paddy, alongside me, massive fan of Bolton. You, of course, renowned for being a wonderful manager at Bolton, for the things you did there, including looking after players such as Kevin Davis, Ida Johnson, Nicholas Anelka, Kevin Nolan. And I think the one that springs to mind for everyone is JJ Okocha. So I've only got you for about 3 or 4 minutes, but I'd just love to talk a bit about how did that deal come about and what was he like to manage?
Oh, he's a godsend, JJ. I think that he's such a great human being, such a big family man. Two sides of him, Andy, the flash, big watches, big cars of JJ Okocha, the big performance on the pit field. But he lived up the road from me. He rented a house up in Bromley Cross. And Lynn got to know his wife, and we got to know the family. And a very, very quiet man off the field and pretty religious, like you mean. And then when we gave him the captaincy, we saw the best of him, because he didn't only play, as everybody saw, with the huge amount of ability he had. He was an absolutely brilliant captain as well. So, and getting him was a risk, flying out to Charles de Gaulle Airport and sitting down with him for about 5 or 6 hours to try and persuade him after the World Cup that year that on a free, come to Bolton, come and play in the Premier League. And he said, yes, I'll do that. Now, the funny thing is one of the only players that I dealt with that didn't have an agent. And he said, right, I'll be there tomorrow. I said, well, do you want to like stay here tonight and we'll book a plane? No, he says, I'll drive up tomorrow. I said, don't worry about that. So we got back on the plane to come home and thought, will JJ actually drive all the way from Paris to end up in Bolton? And of course, about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock the next afternoon, he arrived at the Reebok Stadium. We did all the medical, all the paperwork, and JJ was one of ours. And I mean, 3-4 great years we had together, and I really, really enjoyed it. I mean, the fans came out with this great saying, he's so good they named him twice. And I mean, that was perfect.
But you know what I like about him as well? Obviously, you signed him from PSG. He became pretty much an instant legend at Bolton. But now, you know, not long ago, we had a Legends game at Bolton, and he still turns up for them, you know, and he doesn't have to. And he turns up for them, still says hello to all the fans, lovely guy. And I just thought, that's quality. That's what you want. Do you know what I mean? Fantastic.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.